today's list is horror movie villains who are objectively really hot, regardless of the atrocities that we've seen them commit. And this is part 2. I did part 1 a few weeks ago because this is a very hefty topic. There are a lot of hotties out there in horror, so let's get into it. First up is David from The Lost Boys, Kiefer Sutherland's character. Nothing has ever made me want to change my name to Michael more than every time I watch The Lost Boys, just in hopes that I get to hear David say my name 1,000 times, because he says Michael so much in that movie. But he's so hot in a very David Bowie 80s way. I was not obviously born when this movie came out, so I would be curious to hear from people who were, like, was he hot at the time, or is he only hot like with modern eyes? Because there is something about him that, I mean, damn, I would love to hang from a bridge with this dude. This next one is from the movie Strange Darling. I'm about to give a big spoiler by saying who the bad person is in this movie, so if you haven't seen it, scroll on through. But the lady from Strange Darling, played by Willa Fitzgerald, is so hot in that. It's the wig, it's the attitude. I know she's bad, y'all, she's bad. But also I just want to highlight, do you know how hot someone has to be for me to be saying like they're the hottest person in a movie when Kyle Gallner's also in that movie? I would famously throw it all away for Kyle Gallner. Any movie he's in is my new favorite movie when I see it. So for me to see a movie that he is the only other co-star in, and I'm like, she's the hot one, that is a testament to how hot she is. He's also very hot in that movie, but you got it. Next up is Leslie Vernon from Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. This is one of my all-time favorite movies in the history of film. I talk about this movie to fucking anybody who will listen, even people who won't. I just sort of do it without their consent until they tell me to shut the fuck up. This movie is incredible for a billion reasons, so it is pretty much a universal consensus, I would say, amongst anyone who loves this movie, that what makes this movie so unbelievable is the performance by Nathan Baesel. It is top tier. I cannot believe we don't see him in more things since then. He is so charming in that movie. Just like him, when he says Paradise Lost, found it. It just does something to me as a girl who grew up being in love with Jim Carrey. He just like hit every mark of the things that I love in a character, which is a little fucking crazy, a little fucking funny, and someone that like you probably wouldn't want your parents to meet. That is, to me, the holy trinity of a hot ass character. Plus, you know he's probably kinky as hell given how much he loves a chase. Next is Rose the Hat from Dr. Sleep. I'm not the only person by a long shot who has commented on how hot she is in this movie. Obviously, she is very beautiful just in life, but the character's confidence is so hot, I think. I think I said this in the last video about Tiffany Valentine, about how she could hurt my feelings in such a cool way that I wouldn't come back from, and I really like that. I just love when a bitch can walk into a room and we all have to be like, well, this is her room now. I am not someone who usually responds well to overbearing authority, but I would do whatever Rose the Hat told me to do. And you know that she's hot if I'm forgiving her for that whole Jacob Tremblay scene. You gotta be hot for me to overlook that. Lastly, Tony Todd as Candyman in Candyman. The late, great Tony Todd. Rest in peace, King. Tony Todd in Candyman, in that outfit, covered in bees. He's the kind of hot in that movie that like you really learn something about yourself. You're like, is this what I'm into? And at least for me as a child, the answer was, yes, it is. And my mom said, we're going to therapy here. No, he's so unbelievable in everything he does. But if you want to honor his name posthumously, you better believe part of that is you better comment on this video right now and say your favorite, hottest Tony Todd moment. I think it's hot how much enjoyment he gets out of, I don't know, fucking with people a little bit. I love pranks. I've talked about that many times on this channel before. I think that like the innate existence of Candyman kind of is a prank where like you people have to go into the bathroom and they have to look in the mirror and they have to say, right? Like it is sort of like a sleepover game, like it's like a bit. I love his consistency. I think it's hot that he's always around. When you call, he answers. How often do you really get that with a partner nowadays? I think that there's a lot of pros. I know there's a lot of cons. I would not love the bees thing by any means, but I think I could and would overlook the hell out of it. Am I right? All right, who did I miss on this list? Fuck, there's so many hot horror people. Why is this the hottest genre? Why are we so lucky? Why do other people not watch horror? I'm spiraling out. Okay.